You're listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I'm your host Nina, a mindful parenting coach and mum, here to help you go from overwhelmed and reactive to calm, confident and connected with your kids. This show is for parents who want to raise their children with more patience, less stress and a whole lot more joy. Because small shifts make a big impact and you can build the parenting life you've always wanted. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Mindful Parenting Lifestyle, and don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Your Calm Parenting Path. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Natalie Ventura, a parent coach, holistic family consultant, and passionate believer in the healing power of community. Natalie is a mum of 2 boys and the founder of See Me Circle, where she supports parents through coaching, workshops, and her beautiful parenting book club. She sees parenting as a powerful path of personal growth, and I can't wait to dive into how we can all bring more mindfulness, connection, and self-compassion into our homes. Natalie, welcome to Your Calm Parenting Path.
Thank you so much, Nina. Thanks for having me. Very excited.
It is all very exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about your own parenting journey and what led you to start See Me Circle?
Yeah, sure. So about 7 years ago, when my eldest was 5 and my youngest was 2, I was really struggling as a parent. My eldest was having heaps of meltdowns all the time. My youngest was like out of control. He was like a whirlwind, just going. So yeah, and I started to get really triggered a lot. I started to yell a lot, and it was something that I swore I would never do as a parent. So even though I was listening to, all of these podcasts, reading all these books, and they all were like a positive parenting, respectful parenting lens, and I agreed with everything they were saying, I'm like, in the moment, it just all flew out the window.
Oh, yeah.
I just get so triggered and yell and then feel so bad afterwards and be like, oh, it's not, like, I can't do this. It's not working. Like, what am I going to do? So I knew by that point, I'm like, oh, I can't do this alone. I've been trying to do it alone all of this time. So I found the Consciously Parenting Project, which offered monthly, what they call healing story circles online.
Great.
So that was basically a place where we'd meet once a month online it was a global community, so parents from around the world, and we would just be able to share whatever was happening for us in that moment, no filter.
Wow.
It was a total non-judgment space, so everything was said was like, this is what's happening, just let it all out. And then the participants in the group would give reflection on what they heard. And so it was really a place to be seen and heard in, what was going on for you. And I realized I'm not alone. Like, this is, other people are going through this too. And maybe what they shared wasn't the exact same situation as mine, but I could resonate with it. And I was like, yeah. Okay, I'm not the worst mum in the world. This does happen to other people too. And during that time, then I was also doing Hunter's course, the mindful parenting course. And so after about a year and a half of doing healing story circles online and having done Hunter's course, I was like, I really want to find my community in person.
Yeah.
I want that face-to-face connection. But I could not find anything. I was searching, I was looking, and I was like, surely there must be something in person that is like this kind of model. But I couldn't find it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll start my own.
Woohoo!
So that's how See Me Circle was born, basically. Yeah.
Because that power of community can't be underestimated, can it?
Absolutely.
Online is great, but in person, one-to-one, it's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. It's just completely different. Online is awesome, especially during the COVID years.
Yeah.
Couldn't actually meet anyone. Yeah, it's amazing. And you get to meet, we met online. So
We did. Yeah.
we live across the country from each other. So, you get to meet all these amazing people you never would have met. I have, friends like around the world now, which is fantastic. But being in person is a completely different feel again. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think they complement each other well.
I think they do. The online more for convenience, but the in-person just for that little bit extra connection. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So for parents who are new to the idea of the conscious parenting, mindful parenting, what does this actually look like in everyday life?
Yeah. So I would say it's about being present with what is instead of being focused on the future or stuck in the past. So I guess a real life example of that would be when your child doesn't, I know this used to happen to me a lot. Thank goodness it's not so often nowadays. My youngest would never want to get dressed for school. So I'd have to go in and he'd be pretty open to me dressing him. But in my head, I'd be thinking, but you can dress yourself now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to be doing this. Like, you know how to. So I would say mindful parenting is letting go of that story and just meeting your child where they are actually at, not where you want them to be, which is being able to get themselves dressed. And that to me is probably what I would sum up mindful parenting to be.
That is such a good summary. Meeting your child where they're at, not where you want them to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you find that this attitude supports both parent and child?
Yeah, well, it makes you not feel like this clenching, like, well, do it already, like, let's move on with our lives here. So it gives you a bit of space to be like, okay, this is just what's happening now. I can deal with this right now, or I can be with this right now. And your child feels that as well, because when you're meeting them like this, like hurry up through clenched teeth, and they feel that energy of you just wanting them to just do the thing, as opposed to being open and okay, we'll get dressed. This is what we need to do right now, and I'll be here with you in that. It's a much more supportive environment. Yeah. And you get a lot more cooperation that way as well, I've found.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a funny thing about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you try and control them, it doesn't actually work too well. Yeah.
Because, and you think about it, if someone tries to control us, or if an adult tries to tell us exactly how to do something and to do it in their time frame, not our time frame, like you could just imagine how it makes us feel if we were put in that same situation, if our boss puts us there or our partner puts us there or our mother-in-law, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So circling back, you're a big advocate for community. Why is it so important that we don't try to do parenting alone?
Yeah, I would say we're not meant to do it alone. It's that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. And it's really only in the last, couple of 100 years that we've started to be doing it on our own. And when we're living in all of our separate little houses, we're separating ourselves and not understanding that parenting is a community effort. When we don't see that, we think, I'm doing something wrong. This is only, my child. There must be something wrong with them because they're not behaving how I, quote unquote, want them to behave. And we can get into, most of the thoughts are negative thoughts. When we're in community and we can say, oh, that child behaves that way as well. Oh, that mum sometimes gets down on herself too. Like, I'm not the only one who thinks like that. It can really shift and create a much more kind of positive atmosphere as well.
And I guess you really experienced that when you started your monthly healing circles, realizing that you weren't alone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was probably the biggest thing that I really took away from it was like, not alone. Because before that, I just thought, I'm just the worst mum ever. Like, I must be doing something completely wrong here because I'm, quote unquote, doing what I'm meant to be doing. And somehow it's not working. So what's wrong with me?
Yeah. And the number of people that I've spoken to that they think, oh, if my neighbours must think I'm the worst.
Yes.
You always assume that your neighbours can hear you, your neighbours hear you yelling, they think you're the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And that shame and that guilt really comes out then, doesn't it? And you just think,
Yeah.
I'm the only one on my street that yells, or I'm the only mum at school drop off that's having a hard time.
Yes.
But when you take a moment to pause and you realise, actually, they've probably all had a really tough morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as parents, we need to talk about this more. I think there's so much, it's not competition, but it's a feeling that you have to be at a certain level. And I think if it was more open to be talked about, not just to your close friends, but more commonly and more openly, I think it would make life a lot easier for parents. Do you agree?
Absolutely, 100%. And it's like you said, it is a bit of a rare thing that you have these conversations in a kind of broader context, because you might have a bit of that fear of being judged, or if you say something, someone might think badly of you. But the fact of the matter is they've probably done the exact same thing that you've done.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure nearly everyone has yelled at their child at some point in their life, or thought, I am just the worst mum ever. Like, that was a really bad decision that I made there. So the more we can normalize it,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, this is actually like, it's our society that's making us think we're meant to be all of these wonderful things. And, especially for me, layer on top of that being a parent coach, like, oh,
Yeah,
I must have to be like this up here standard. But
same.
what I've found helpful too is hearing other parent coaches go, I don't have to be perfect. And I'm like,
Exactly.
it's this permission that we shouldn't need, but we feel like we do. It's okay.
Yeah.
Meant to be perfect. And just because, me and you are parent coaches doesn't mean that we are at some higher standard that someone else isn't, We're still humans. We still make mistakes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I feel that way as well sometimes. And I feel like, if I've had a bad morning, I feel I can't share it with other people. But I had a bad morning this morning. The kids annoyed me. I got cross. And that's okay.
Yes.
When we've had those tough moments, it's about how we react and how we respond after they've occurred.
Yes.
So if you're talking to a parent that's had a rough morning at school gates, you can see they're struggling. What kind of things would you say to them to help them get through those feelings of guilt and shame?
Yeah. This is something that I tell my clients and my parents all the time, is to do this very simple practice, which I learned from Hunter. So I'm sure you've shared it before too, is just put your hands on your heart. And just, if it's available, you can close your eyes and you can just say, it's okay, my love. We all make mistakes, You're human, like we said, and take a few deep breaths. Sometimes people feel a bit weird about talking to themselves. I'm one of those people who love talking to themselves. So you can even just placing your hands on your heart does enough, and taking a breath, like a nice deep breath in and a long, slow exhale. If you practice that when you've had those rough moments, I used to do this all the time at the start of my parenting journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so, so helpful. And now I don't really need to do it so much anymore. But it's still there when I need it. So that's what I prefer. Yeah.
It's a really great tip. And if we do that and our kids see us doing that as well, you got that role modeling as well. So they know that when they're having big angry thoughts or having a bad day, that's something that they can do to help.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. When you see your kids do that after a tough moment, that's really awesome.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you might need to take yourself away when you're like, really tough.
That's true.
But you can also do it absolutely in the moment when you can just feel that bit of resentment, that bit of anger, frustration building. You're like, okay. And absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Now, I love that you run a parenting book club. Can you tell us a little bit about how your book club works and the kind of impact that it's had on parents?
Yeah, sure. So the Mindful Parenting Book Club all started after I ran one of my mindful parenting workshops. And people were like, this is so good. Can we keep going somehow? And I'm like, okay, maybe we can because Hunter talks about a lot of books in her course that she recommends to read. I said, how about we start with Hunter's book, Raising Good Humans, and we can go through that, and then we can go through, some of the other teachers that she talks about, like Dan Siegel, and let's work our way through those books. So that's how it started, and it's been parents have loved it because it's that connection, that monthly connection to like check in. Am I still on track? Am I still where I want to be with my parenting? Something happened, it was kind of hard, and I read this and this kind of helped, and other people offering supports throughout the book clubs. So it's been really, really beneficial. Yeah, I've really, really enjoyed it. And I love reading books, so it's like perfect for me.
Do you have any favourite books or any that sparked really powerful conversations that you've talked about?
It's hard to pick a favourite because there's so many. But I would say the one I was thinking about this, the one that sparked the most conversation I'd have to say it's called Motherhood, Facing and Finding Yourself by Lisa Marciano. It was very, very powerful. It can go a little bit dark in some places, but because of that, we were able to have a really deep discussion about, all of these kind of hidden layers of motherhood as well. All of these parts that I kind of spoke about briefly before, like I must be the worst mum ever. Like this was a mistake. I shouldn't actually be a mum to these kids. Like this is not right. And it's something that doesn't often get talked about at all, even with your closest friends. So we had a really great discussion around that. It was, and I highly recommend the book. Yeah.
So I'll put a link to that one in the show notes so people can find it.
Awesome. Yeah.
That sounds really interesting. I've not heard of that one, but the more we share and we have these conversations, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah.
Getting this stuff out in the open, I think, is really important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I find I listen to podcasts where they interview an author. I'm like, oh, that book sounds so good. So that's why I have a long list of books that I want to read.
Same.
But I'm slowly getting there. Yeah.
There's so many to get through. And each one, even though they kind of focus on slightly different topics, the message is ultimately the same, isn't it? Like the outcome at the end is the same, but it's just different avenues and ways to get there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about personal growth.
It is all personal growth.
It's all a discovery. Yeah.
You often think that you're not just raising your children, you're raising yourself as well, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I 100% believe that. Yeah. This has been a journey for me, and I'm a completely different person than I am now than before I had kids. So yeah, definitely been a big learning curve and a big personal growth journey for me. Yeah. For sure.
Same. Fantastic. So to finish up, Natalie, what's one small shift that you suggest our listeners try this week? So something simple but powerful that can help create a big impact in their parenting.
I think I will say the hands on the heart when things get tough, because it really is just incredibly powerful. So, if it's whether it's in the moment or you need to take yourself away, just place both your hands on your heart, close your eyes if you want, speak kindly to yourself, and just take a few deep breaths. And if you did that every day, you will see a massive change. And I know that because I've seen it happen. So I would say, yeah. And it's so quick and easy to do. You just need to remember to do it. That's all.
That's it.
That's the hardest part. But once you get into that habit, it's really easy and really accessible. Yeah.
And that's where the mindfulness comes in, isn't it? The mindfulness allows you to remember more easily to do those things.
Yes, absolutely.
And we've talked about that in past episodes. So hopefully you can go back and find those episodes if you need to. Look, thank you so much, Natalie. One, I guess, last question is, where can listeners connect with you, learn more about your coaching and book club, or join one of your circles?
Yeah, so you can find me on my website, seemecircle.com. You can also find me on Facebook, which is also See Me Circle, so you can follow me there. I've got all my events listed there. Ways to do one-on-one coaching with me is pinned to the top of the page, so you can check out all of those things there.
They'll all be in the show notes. Thank you so much, Natalie. I look forward to chatting again soon.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I am so glad you're here. And I hope this episode gave you something useful to take into your parenting journey. If you'd like to dive deeper, sign up to my mailing list at mindfulparentinglifestyle.com.au for more tips and insights, or book a free chat to learn how we can work together. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. I look forward to speaking with you next time on Your Calm Parenting Path.